How the Iowa Hawkeyes abandoned the statuesque quarterbacks back in the pocket. Looks like they have, at least according to some recent successes on their recruiting trail. We'll talk about Jimmy Sullivan, the newest addition to Iowa's 2025 class, in just a second. But first, I want to thank our sponsor, Iowa Floor Covering, down in Bondurant. Check out their awesome products and check out their beautiful studio down in Bondurant. This locally owned flooring store can help you with whatever flooring projects you are taking on. Maybe it's carpet, maybe it's tile, maybe it's a tile shower that you're looking to install. They can give you great advice and help you figure out what products you need for your DIY flooring projects. Visit iowafloorcovering.com/DIY or just visit iowafloorcovering.com and check out the selection, the different options that they have in place. Call Ryan, Tyler, and the guys down in Bondurant. You can call them at 515-379-7000. That's 515-379-7000. We appreciate Tyler, Ryan, and the guys down at Iowa Floor Covering in Des Moines. Support our sponsors, folks. We cannot do this show, cannot run this platform without our sponsors. Thank you to Iowa Floor Covering. So the news on this Saturday, Iowa gets a commitment from a 2025 quarterback. Yes, they've got a commitment for 2025 at the most important position on the football field, Jimmy Sullivan out of Indiana. And Jimmy is listed at 6'3", about 180 pounds, according to the On3 recruiting database. Now, according to his offer list, he had opportunities to go to Michigan State on scholarship, Illinois, Minnesota. Like I said, he did visit Notre Dame. It doesn't sound like Notre Dame had pulled the trigger on a scholarship. Had a bunch of opportunities to go to MAC schools, including some of the better MAC programs like Miami, Ohio, and Toledo. But he ends up going with Iowa. He had recently visited Iowa for a second time. And you watch him on tape, and I've gotten an opportunity to watch a little less than 10 minutes of tape, so not extensive. And as I talk about every time I discuss these prospects that commit and you're looking at highlight film, that's what it is, highlight film, especially when you're talking about quarterback play. For those that have ripped on Deacon Hill or even Spencer Petras, I guarantee you, if you go look up huddle film for either one of those guys, you'll be like, wow, that guy looks really good on tape. So you don't know anything really until you see a guy take snaps. Now, it's a little different with a guy like Jimmy simply because he's got the mobility that we haven't seen with people like Alex Padilla, Deacon Hill. A couple observations. You're trying to read between the lines, watching through some of this tape. He does have good speed. I don't know what his track and field background is like, but he does have some good breakaway speed, especially for a quarterback, and decent size. I mean, he's going to get bigger than 180, which is where he's listed right now. He seems to have a pretty strong arm. You see him on tape throwing, 40, 45-yard bombs down the field with pretty good accuracy, doing so inside the pocket, outside the pocket. The one thing I don't know, again, watching this short highlight reel, is what is his ability to read progressions like. Those are things that are obviously going to get better once you get to college. Certainly his ability to learn the playbook is something you're not going to be able to tell by looking at film, picking up a defense, being able to kind of identify different things with the defense pre-snap. These are all things that I'm not pretending to be any expert at, but you just can't tell these things by watching tape. And when you watch his highlights, you see a lot of quick throws, and, doesn't tell us what he's like when under duress in the pocket. He's got a pretty good pocket to work with. Most of his pass plays in these clips are orchestrated, quick throws out of the pocket, and that's fine. He has good accuracy. I did notice that he does seem, especially with throws to the boundary, he seems to be able to do a good job of placing those throws to the outside shoulder of his receiver. That's a good sign. But again, these are highlights. He ran for over 400 yards, though, this past year. So that's an indication that he's got good mobility, and you can see it when you look at tape. So I don't know. I mean, he's a three-star kid. On3, I don't believe has him ranked yet. 247 Rivals has him ranked as three-star quarterbacks. I don't think Rivals had him as a three-star until his commitment. Don't quote me on that, but I believe that's the case. And so, good offers on the table. You look at some of those teams, good programs in the Big Ten. That's typically who Iowa's going to be battling for some of these prospects. I'm really high on Marco Lainez. I know that's not news to you if you've watched this show before. He had offers from Rutgers, from Minnesota. You get down the list. So even though he was an East Coast kid, you're going to get some of those same types of offers. But Iowa does seem to be trending more toward the mobile types of quarterbacks. Even James Reesar is a bigger guy coming in this next year. Will be signing next Wednesday. but he's got speed as a 6'4", 6'5" quarterback. I'd say the same thing about Jimmy Sullivan. And as I watched him, I couldn't help but flash back to Alex Padilla. Now, don't panic when I say that. I know a lot of people kind of feel like that was just a recruiting miss on Iowa's part. Let's not forget that Alex Padilla did have a Georgia offer, and Iowa has not been very good at developing quarterbacks in recent time. I think that's fair to say. And Alex Padilla went down to SMU, did not play this year. I think part of the reason why I watched Jimmy Sullivan and think Alex Padilla is because he's wearing number 8 in the film. And Alex Padilla was mobile. Say what you want about him. He was mobile. I think Jimmy's probably got a little bit better speed and probably a bit stronger of an arm, which probably gives him a notch above what Alex Padilla was. But again, Padilla was a decent prospect out of high school as well. Iowa has tried with some mobile quarterbacks. Deuce Hogan, Alex Padilla, Joey Labus. They've all left. So you hope that's not the case, but it doesn't seem like Iowa has too many statuesque quarterbacks here. They don't committed for the next 3 years. You talk about Linez, who was a freshman this year, James Reesar, and now Jimmy Sullivan. Those are 3 guys that all are pro-style quarterbacks but can run. Don't know that I'd call them dual threat, but they all can run. So congratulations to Jimmy Sullivan. We'll see as his recruitment continues. He's got a whole nother year until he can sign. If his stock continues to go up, he'll likely get interest and offers from other schools. What happens if Notre Dame offers? I don't know. I haven't talked to Jimmy. And if that offer would still be on the table, perhaps he would reconsider. But it sounds like he's locked into his commitment. So congratulations to him and his family. And now you can build the pieces around your quarterback for the 2025 class. You can always get in on these kids early, which is what they did with Linez and Reesar. Now they do it with Sullivan. You can start to build around these kids. And hopefully whoever the new OC is will also be a quarterback guru. And that will help as it relates to quarterback development, which again has been a problem in recent time. Stick right here, folks, for more Iowa football and basketball coverage. We got a doubleheader coming up later today down at the Well in Des Moines. The men and the women both taking the hardwood this evening. We'll be talking about it during post-game coverage right here from the Hawkeye of the Storm. Stay tuned. More on the way right here from the Hawkeye of the Storm.